Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show After Show. The last one at 4 p.m. as starting Monday, and that means we have audio starting Monday. There will be only one, and that will be at 10:27 a.m. Eastern Time, immediately following the actual Ramsey show on the YouTube at its new time of 9 a.m. And it runs to 10:27. And then when that's done, then it's my turn. Alrighty. So let's get going for this last one. I was trying it out this week to see if I could get any viewers that would be looking for the Ramsey show at its old time of 4 p.m. But not that many. And so that's why I'm going to go back to right after the Ramsey show instead. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And for my financial content, just scroll past the Oak Island playlist and you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show playlist. And today is number 543. This one is. The earlier one today is number 542. And that's right there in the 138 episodes of Answering Your Financial Questions in that playlist. And there's 12 Ramsey adjacent songs. Let me do a different one than I usually do. How about, and I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruze for good advice that you learned in her youth. Talks about friends, well, she shows us how to be millionaires. Know yourself, know your money, love your life, not theirs. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruze. So that is one of them. And of course, singing, as you just found out, not my regular job. So give me a break on that. But you might enjoy the lyrics. And of course, if you can sing any of those songs better than me, or even if you can't and just want to try it, knock yourself out. And send it to me, and then maybe I'll play it on the after show. How about that? This looks like it for the end of the day. Doesn't seem to be updating and changing anymore, so mostly down today. But the Nasdaq just barely 0.0043%. Which, so if you take out the percent and make that an actual number, that would be 0, or actually point, that would be you would have, what is that? That would be 0.043 in an actual number. So, and that's how much up it is, but it better to be a little bit up than a little bit down. And let's see, what's the most down today is the Dow Jones. And followed by 23% down today, the Russell Small Cap Index. Let's see, again, new holdings on Tuesday, I think that is, and Schwab on the 14th, and on the 15th, Walmart. Let's see, Apple up 0.5%. Alphabet down 1%. 0.13 for Microsoft. 0.51%, or a little over 0.5% for the Amazon. Almost 1% down is Meta, the artist formerly known as Facebook. And Tesla up 4.72. And again, everything up in Europe and Asia mostly down though. US dollar, let's see, Euro wins, yeah, Japanese yen wins, British pound love wins. But the US dollar up against the Canadian dollar, sorry. And the Australian dollar, though, says NAR to the United States dollar and is up. So some mixed results there. Let's see about the futures. And so just looks barely up. 0.86, 0.0. Oh, but the a full 0.25% is down Dow futures. So we'll have to see what happens on Monday. Just have one story for the afternoon here from the Wall Street Journal, and it's Trump floats. No, we're gonna lowering China. Okay, let's see. We're gonna lower the tariffs to 80%. Try to do it. Trying to do Dana Carvey doing Trump, obviously. Gonna lower it to 80%. Lots of people in China. We wanted 145%. 80% is almost half of that, so they should take it. Many trade deals to come. We're going to do a lot of trade deals. It's going to be the best trade deals in the history of trade deals ever. All right, that's enough of that. Sorry about that. It's just fun for me. Let's do some questions. Alrighty. Earlier this week, these questions are from, usually I do questions from the Dave Ramsey subreddit, which is run by fans, and that was located at reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. But this is the Facebook group, and the one and only Facebook group run by Ramsey Solutions, and it is called the Ohio State University. It's the Ramsey Baby Steps community, and if it's called anything other than that and it's on Facebook, it's not run by Ramsey Solutions. Alrighty, so these are questions from there, and we don't have fun usernames because a lot of times on Facebook, the user name is almost always the name of the actual person. So took all those out and just have the questions or comments. Earlier this week, we sold a house that I've owned since 2006. The buyers are happy, and so are we. Great. Win-win, right? Now we are off to meet with our financial advisors so we can put this money to work. Living debt-free is such a blessing, and we don't have to share a chunk of this money with a bank or mortgage company. Baby step 7 is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm assuming they're either renting now, a choice to rent, or they bought another house and are living in that one, and that one's paid off as well, because that's the only way you could be in baby step 7. So cool. I feel like for me, I started late, 56, with only $310,000 in my 401k and about $30,000 in my emergency fund. I'm sure people your age and even younger and even older have less than that. So you did start late, and so all you can do is the best you can do. So if you're worried about it, work till you're 70 then. Work longer than you want to. Let's see, am I the only one that should have done better? You should have done better. It's actually feeling, should be anxious about the future and looking for encouragement. Well, if you don't think that's going to be enough, then I guess you better keep working. You can, if you're working only a full-time job now, you can work part-time in addition to that. So there's no magic way to fix it, because you're already doing the best you can with the money by being in a retirement account. If you don't already have one, you could additionally do a Roth IRA. But otherwise, if you don't think that's enough, and that in 7 years, that should be doubling it. So that would be 620, and so that would generate $62,000 a year, theoretically. But in the 401k, you are going to have to pay taxes on those gains. So if you don't think that's enough, then guess what? Keep working. Work more. Spend less. Even now, even if you are, even though this person could be in baby step 7 as well. And that's good though, because if you're on baby step 7, you would have a paid for house probably. And so if you don't have any debt and you have a paid up for a house means you don't have any rent or mortgage payment to pay, and then you don't have as much expense during the month. And so then you could probably more easily get by on the 62,000. But as long as you're working, you're still going to be adding to that, so that will still get higher. So, but you can't do anything any better than the market, than your tax advantaged account here, 401k retirement account. But as I said, you can also do the Roth IRA on top of that. It's amazing to see the progress. We are so close now. We are hoping to be debt free within 2 years. But if not, this will be an amazing Christmas, December 2027. This shows our progress over the last 5 years when we really got serious about being debt free. Oh yeah, they had an image of some app that they had, I guess, that showed their stuff, and it was like way too big to put on here, so I didn't bother with it. But yeah, so this shows our progress over the last 5 years when we really got serious about being debt free. Okay, so the problem with this here is, well, let me finish reading it. We're not selling the fifth wheel. We use it 8 months a year. I think Dave would agree. If we can be debt free in 24 months, we should keep it. It's a small portion of our net worth. Payment's $575, and we're paying $1575 a month to knock it out. Yes, you're saying are correct. Our mortgage is free and clear now. Okay. And you would have paid off this dumb fifth wheel thing before paying extra on the mortgage. So you did it wrong. But also, here's also how you did it wrong as well. The fifth wheel would not have been bought in anyway while you had other debt. And so the problem here is not we're hoping to be debt free in 2 years. If that's all we were looking at, or even 3 years, that's fine. But you said within 2 years from now, plus, where is it? Where is it? Over the last 5 years, when we got real serious about being debt free. So if it's going to take you 7 years total, that's when you're selling stuff like a house that is too much house, or you sell the fifth wheel, or you don't buy it to begin with. So you're doing it wrong. And so Dave would not agree, because you already had your chance. It's not just a situation where now you just like got it, and then you're going to pay it off in 2 years, and that was your only debt. That's not the case here. So I'm going to say you sell that. You don't get to, and for my money, you don't get to, you don't get a loophole on the baby steps, because you're just considering, oh, well, just going from right now. No, you've already been messing around and screwing around for 5 years, and you haven't gotten completely out of debt yet. Also, you shouldn't have 30,000 in your emergency fund. You should be having 1,000 in your emergency fund while you still have debt on the stupid ass fifth wheel. So you're doing it wrong. Do better. You're on the Ramsey Solutions Facebook group, the one that's run by the company. I understand easier if the Reddit people, because that's not run by Ramsey Solutions, people that join that group, I can understand them not doing Dave's advice. But you trying to get away with stuff and be paying off non-mortgage debt, while you pay off the mortgage instead. Hopefully you didn't put extra payments to that, and instead of putting them to your other debt. But that's just dumb. I don't care if you use it 8 months a year. Hey, how about you use it 12 months a year? Then you don't need the house. Sell the house then. That's a long time to not be in a paid for house where you use it 8 months a year. So we use it. Do you use it 8 months a year, or do you use it for a weekend or two a month for 8 months? Or are you in it every day since then? So got to have some more clarification on that. But that's when people try to, again, scheme and scam the baby steps. And you did it wrong. Another collection account paid in full. This was a big one. $2,840 paid. On to the next. I can smell that freedom. Excellent. Week 48, $1,563.42 towards debt. Paid off my last loan to date. One more debt to go. Excellent. Baby step 2. Just started the depth snowball. All right, extra H there. I have around $3,000 in savings. Wondering if I should take some of that and apply it towards debt. I wonder if the reason you're wondering that is because baby step 1 says save 1,000, and I don't see anything else about saving any money here until step 3 when all your debt is paid off. So that's why you're thinking that, and you would be correct about that. You would take some of that and apply. You would take all but $1,000. So you would apply $2,000 to it. I have pretty bad anxiety when it comes to money, so the idea of taking money out of savings scares me. Tough crap. Your debts should scare you more. But I also want to get out of debt as quickly as possible, right? You cannot have both. You get to pick. Choose wisely. Currently have around $9,700 in credit card medical debt. Sell some dumb crap you bought on the credit cards if you still have it, if it's worth anything. Hey everyone, so I'm kind of stuck. Hi guys. Don't know if this is the right place to ask this, but anyways, period. Should be, but anyways, comma, blah, 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 but no, but anyways, period. I'm 31. Ever since I got out of high school, no hyphen in high school, I have pursued different jobs. But every job I've gone to is pretty much the same as the last in the end. I've done trades, retail, manufacturing, and postal service. You get bored? All of them, I enjoyed it at first, but then end up feeling lost. If it's in multiple things like that, that seems like it's a you problem instead of the actual things, because that's a lot of stuff. So there could still be some industry where you wouldn't end up feeling like that, but while you look for that, you do have to keep working. Because the baby steps do require the income to fill out. And do you want to keep changing jobs forever, ever? And why do you feel lost? So it's not like I don't like it. You end up feeling lost. That's interesting. Mostly because I was taught if you put in the time and the hard work and determination, you would go places. You are going places to work and making money. But everywhere I go, that doesn't seem to be the case. I don't know why. So this is much more of a you problem than a problem with these specific industries. My hard work and determination just gets me more work to do with not much of a pay increase or step up the ladder. Well, you got to pick something that you can get up the ladder faster or better. So, but who knows what that is? So none of us know. The only way to do that is to keep trying them. And so you're going to probably, and unfortunately, the case could be you won't ever find anything that makes you feel better about it. So I'm lost on what to do. There's no magic here. There's no magic way to know exactly what job you wouldn't feel like that at. And I think it might just be a thing where you just want to shoot up the ladder and up the pay scale faster than is going to happen. Any insight would be great. Thank you. I would just like to feel valued. Okay, so that's another thing That's great that you would like to feel valued, but that's secondary to making the income. So you need to have priorities on your feeling. So we got the feeling lost and the feeling valued. And so, again, just like the people that spend and can't stop themselves from spending, I'm sorry, but that's a you problem. That's stuff going on in your head, and you need psychological counseling for that, probably. If it's this much of a deal to complain on Reddit about, and since you mentioned the feeling lost and you want to feel valued, what you think about yourself, if you think you're doing a good job, that's much more important than what anybody else thinks. So, you know, who knows, any number of things in this person's past could have contributed to this. Any weird thing from, like daddy issues or anything like that, never getting, love from daddy or a parent or something like that. That's just something I'm grasping at straws at for a reason, but anything could contribute to that and you have to deal with that. And so that's why you would need counseling. But let's just say you are exaggerating the situation. Then if you are exaggerating the situation, then you just keep trying. But if it's not going to get better anywhere, no matter what kind of work you do, then that's when you need the Dr. John Deloney and other counselor type people. Thanks for anybody watching right now live or that will be watching in the future. Thank you so much. It is the very last out of 4. Did 4 this week. 4 p.m. shows. Trying the Ramsey 4 p.m. slot that previously on the Ramsey show, when it used to be at 4 p.m. Eastern time on the YouTube. They have since moved it to 1 starting this past Monday. Not to 1, to 9 a.m. is the time. 9 a.m. is on, 9 a.m. weekdays is when the Ramsey show is on the YouTube. And yes, it is the previous weekdays live show. Like, for example, the live radio show today, of which there is no live video, but the live radio show that is recorded today, still being recorded, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. That show will be on Monday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube. What is Dave's take on prepaid fuel for rental cars? That's a good question. I would have no idea on that. Prepaid fuel, and why would you want to prepay it? In case it goes up? I don't know why you would do that. Unless that you pay for X amount and then you don't get charged if you don't bring the car back with the right amount in it or something like that. And you think you can get over on them for $5 in gas, something like that. So I can't think of why you would prepay fuel for a rental car. Especially when you don't know exactly how much you'll use. So yeah, I don't know why you would do that. So I don't know. I can't answer that one. And can't imagine why that would need to be a thing. Apparently it is, though. Back in baby step 4 to 6 after a brief, if painful, return to step 2. Feels good to be back. Great. Hopefully it was, step 2, that means you either wanted to buy something that you shouldn't have bought, or it was like medical, had some kind of medical issue that the emergency fund couldn't cover the entire 3 to 6 months of expenses, could not cover, and you went into debt for that. So, hopefully it wasn't that. I mean, that would be more allowable, I think, or more understandable than you saying, "Oh, I had to get a new car." No, you didn't have to. So, but if you have medical issues and stuff like that, you got to do that, and sometimes that's going to cost take more money than even your entire 6-month emergency fund sometimes. So it feels good to be back. Great. Glad you made it back. I don't have time to look over the website, but I do have time to post on Facebook. So I'm just asking here, are there any programs for FPU for kids, specifically teenagers? I would say probably a mid-teenager. So teen doesn't start until what? 13, right? If you consider that. So that's 13. So and halfway to what? 19. That's 6 years. So 3 years. So a 15-year-old, I think most of them could probably handle FPU because it's very simple. It's very simple. If you want to do something specifically for younger kids, they do have books for younger kids. They do have the high school curriculum. It's called Foundations in Finance as well. I don't know if they have a single like homeschool version of that for just like your family or not, but that does exist. And so they probably do have some stuff like that. What up, Aslan? How are you? Oh, let's see. Debit card to cash when traveling. There might be some issues where you would need cash. I would think the debit card could work mostly, but there could, depend on where you're going. There might be something that you can only pay cash for. So you should research that as far as where you're going to, and Google when I'm going to Budapest. Would there be any reason that I would need cash instead of a debit card? Aslan doing great. Great to hear. Let's see. Aslan asked, did I see that U.S. government went down for the first time since President Clinton was in office? U.S. government, what do you mean? The size of it? Like the number of employees or something like that? And you got to do that because that's why we have a deficit, because they just apparently at some point, I wonder when it happened. I don't even know like when the United States started working on it. I think they were on a deficit, and I think they briefly got out of it in maybe the 70s or something like that. I don't know. I was still very young back in the 70s, so I don't know about that. And then I was too occupied with Star Wars in 1977, obviously. Actually, I didn't see it until until 1978, because I lived in a very small town, and they didn't get it. And I didn't have the type of parents that would take me drive 30 minutes to Norfolk, Virginia, or Virginia Beach, Virginia, so I could see it. So that is my sad story, and yes, I'm scarred for life for that. I'm not. I'm kidding. Total debt, 37 trillion. Oh, great. That's great that went down. And that's what you got to do. You got to pay off the debt. And the first thing is to stop spending money, which has happened by Doge, Mr. Musk, taking a little axe to the government, saying we don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need that, don't need that. And he's right. Government is way, 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 way too big. I have Progressive for my home insurance. It seems pretty costly to me, though I do get a little discount on my insurance. Is it worth it to look for cheaper insurance? Always. Sure. You can comp that anytime you want and get out of it early, or you can wait till it's time to renew, like auto insurance, and you can check around to see if there's anybody cheaper. Absolutely. My niece is graduating this year from high school, and I remember hearing stuff about something for graduates Ramsey offers. Anyone know what that is, or if that it's still a thing? I think I've heard before. I don't know if it's like something they have constantly, or if they just have it in May and June. So now would be coming up where they would have it in the store, like a graduation bundle or something like that. They might have. So that could be. So you would just check the Ramsey store. Probably store.ramseysolutions.com. The last time U.S. debt was zero was in 1835. So it has been a while. It has been a minute. Okay. All right. I feel like, more recently than that, like 70s or 80s. I guess not, though. I'm wrong by hundreds of years, apparently, or over 100 years anyway. I have made it back to baby step 7 after one failure. I fell all the way to baby step 0. My goodness gracious me. What has to happen to make that happen? My goodness. But now that I'm good again, something that helps is reading his books. What book should I read next? I've read Debt Free to Greed, Total Money Makeover, The Proximity Principle, Financial Peace. Take Back Your Time. Take back your time. That's Christy Wright's book. And I had the idea for that song like the week before she left, so I didn't even finish it. So that's why that's not in the playlist there. Let's see, Everyday Millionaire, From Paycheck to Purpose, Know Yourself, Know Your Money. Baby Steps Millionaire, Smart Kids, Smart Money, Smart Kids, Legacy Journey. What other Dave Ramsey books are there I can order? Should read for motivation. The one that comes out since you said Know Yourself, Know Your Money, that's a Rachel Cruz book, and I know just because it's in that song that I sang at the beginning there, the based on Elton John, guess that's why they call it the blues. And I know because it goes right at that. Know yourself, know your money, love your life, not theirs. Little pitchy dog. But anyway. So yeah, love your life, not theirs. Might be at that. I haven't read it though, so I don't know. The way to find other Ramsey books would be to do that. I know this person probably looking for actual recommendations from people that have read it. If you are younger, you might enjoy Breaking Free from Broke by George Camel. Maybe it's time to stop reading and start doing for motivation. That's a good thing. And I appreciate that because I always like to challenge anybody that is asking any questions about anything. I like to challenge them. Anybody that I'm coaching, I like to challenge them. At least say, and I don't expect them to do everything that I say to do, like to sell completely everything you ever bought on credit cards. As long as you're not using it regularly, just go ahead and sell it, that kind of thing. But I generally can find in everybody's situation one thing where I can challenge them on that is going to be, if they do that, that will put them ahead on the baby steps. Or in the general Ramsey advice, that'll be a good idea for them. So yeah, success is good motivation. It absolutely is, Aslan. And this is why Aslan would make a good co-host. I've floated it a couple times, and she hasn't ever followed up with me on it, so I'm assuming she doesn't want to do that. But let me know if you do. We could make it happen. And whatever time is good for you, because we could just pre-record it. Is the show not live in the afternoon anymore? I see today's show, April 7th, was streamed this morning, whereas it normally is live for me at 2 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time. On YouTube, that is. Right. It used to be at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes, that was when the video was. And it's not live. It's the same show, but the live radio show is always recorded and always happens live, just on radio, no live video, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. and that's how it's been since the 90s, I believe. And so, but the Ramsey show on YouTube used to be live. It used to be an actual live stream. But as of like 4 years ago, they started doing a thing where they would delay it 2 hours so that they could cut most of the commercial time out of it, which led to YouTube promoting it more. And so more eyeballs got on it that way. And so, but what now they did is instead of the 2 hour delay, now we have a 19-hour delay until 9 a.m. the following morning. And so I think that what Mod said was they're trying to get the one, an early morning debut, and then all the, like that one show locked on that one day on YouTube. And then the other one happens the next morning, next weekday morning. And so, and also probably a way to try to get more people to the app as well. Just speculating. We just paid off another debt in baby step 2. Excellent. Now we only have a 52K student loan left that is broken up into 2 loans, 12,000 and 40,000. We're now attacking the next one. We just crushed a truck loan that had 12K left on it in about 6 months. Great. Now that we've freed up another 540 in payments, we should have this done in 4. We are so close. I could try. Great. We just crushed a truck loan that had 12K left on it. So I see the 12K here. So are you? I mean, that's probably close enough to not worry about, because if they're both in the 12K, I guess that's nothing to worry about. But I would at this point worry, what else are you kind of scheming and scamming to try to get around the baby steps? And maybe you didn't do an exact snowball order here, and you paid the truck earlier because it's more interest, or there's deferred interest maybe on the student loan, and so you did the truck first, something like that. Anyway, what are words of encouragement you have to get through the last large grueling debt? 40K is a huge number, that much is certain. Alyssa, Emily, I don't know what that is. Might be a person's name. Get rid of that, I guess. Emily is an interesting last name, though, so maybe it's not an actual person's first and last name. Oh, this is somebody's comment about it. How did I must have accidentally did somebody's comment about this comment. Larger student loan balances were hard for me too. I made sure every 10K I paid off to remind myself of the progress and budget in a very small treat of a meal or something like a small purchase to keep me motivated for the end goal. Ready? Baby step 2. Let's see. As I said, for the 40,000 loan, just break the loan up visually into 4 pieces so you can get some little celebrations along the way. Yeah, that's what. That's basically what this person said. Every 10K. So interesting that you would have the same idea. I don't think your name is Alyssa, though. Baby step 2, currently 7 credits away from my BSN. Is that Bachelor of Science Nursing? Is that what that is? My husband and I have been able to cash flow the entire degree. Excellent. I unexpectedly received a Pell Grant after paying my tuition in full, so I'll be receiving approximately an $1,800 reimbursement. Excellent. I was supposed to be done with my degree by June 30th, but I just received an update yesterday and may not be able to complete my clinical hours in that time frame. That being said, I may have to go to school for 1 more semester. That sucks. I wonder how often that crap happens, so you have to go to school for another whole semester because something happens where you can't do enough clinical hours when you theoretically should be able to do enough clinical hours during that time. Or if it could be something it's this nurse's fault as well. Could be. So I don't know how that works, but I'm just wondering about it. Question is, I was planning to put that 18 directly towards our credit card. Should I just put it in savings in case I have to pay prorated tuition for these last 7 credits? I would say if you have time, if this like next semester isn't like this summer, if it's more like the fall, I would say you put that to the credit card, and then let's see, doesn't say how much debt they have. So like if it's debt you can get rid of by like almost the beginning of fall, you can get rid of the debt this summer with that 1800 included. And then you would be able to cash flow more easily, save up slash cash flow more easily next semester. So also, received an update yesterday that you may not be able to complete my clinical hours in that time frame. I would be a what is that called? A noisy wheel. So you get the grease on that. I would be somebody's problem to try to get those hours during that time. I would try to see if there's anything that you can do or somebody else can do for you that will allow you to complete the clinical hours in that time frame instead of just accepting it. So that's what I would do on that. Boo, ba doop, boo, boo. Aslan would save the 1800 as cash flow for the next 7 credits, then take an extra job this summer and get ahead on the debt. Yeah, that too as well. If you're going to take an extra job, work extra, that's fine as well. I don't have any problem with that. Went from making good progress on baby step 2 back to baby step 1. Well, that means you did it wrong. And needing to rebuild. This time need is actually you do need to rebuild the $1,000 emergency fund when you're in step 1. That's correct. Trying not feel defeated by this. Well, is it something that's directly your fault? If it's your fault, you should feel bad about it. It's up to you if you want to be defeated or if you want to not get defeated this time. Start over and don't get defeated this time. It's like I've always felt that I take 1 step forward and 3 steps back. Without knowing why this happened, I'm only speculating, so I don't know. I suppose I should be thankful that we were able to take care of our emergency, okay? They said it's an emergency. Some people think emergencies are things that aren't emergencies, but I can only take their word of it that it is an actual emergency with the $1,000 and didn't have to use a credit card, but still frustrated. Sure. Understand that. But think about if you didn't have the $1,000, you'd be in worse shape than you are now. So that's still progress, right? Looking for some encouragement to not fall off the wagon and just start over. Yeah, you should, because again, you should look at this as a thing where, as a reason, as proof positive that the steps work, because you did have the $1,000 to take care of the emergency. So yeah, now you got to build it back. So baby steps are working for you. You are proving that it worked. So you just had the bad luck with the emergency. Aslan says they should not feel defeated. They use the emergency fund for what it is there for and did not take on extra debt. Yeah, it's like Aslan is co-hosting. This is what she would say. Would be her input there. So fun. So this is kind of fun too. If you're in baby step 2 and got a new job, but you have money in your old company's 401k that you contributed to before you started the baby steps, do you roll it over to a Roth IRA or do you use it to pay off debt? You do not. Anything that's in a retirement account, you leave alone. I mean, you can roll it from the old company. You can leave it in the old company 401k. You can leave it right there. But if you'd like to have control over it, you can roll it to an IRA without any tax events. But if you roll it to a Roth IRA and your 401k there is not a Roth 401k, regular 401k to Roth IRA, you have a tax event on all your contributions because you did not pay taxes on those contributions previously. So you do, in baby step 2, you do not need a tax event like that. So that would be a no. So you would either roll it into a current 401k if you have that, or you would roll it into a non-Roth IRA. I just paid off my last credit card today. Bye-bye to credit card. Excellent. Officially on baby step 3, my 6-month emergency fund. And I'm also retiring. It took me 1 year and 8 months to pay off over 20K in debt. Great. Should I keep investing my pension at 15% in a Roth IRA? I don't own a home and my kids are grown, but I do have a 1-year-old grandson. Also, do I cancel my whole life and get term insurance now? You should have canceled that crap a long time ago. You don't need, actually, you don't need insurance, maybe enough to bury you. You don't need insurance at all. How old? Does it say how old? Old. How old? So theoretically, 65. So if you don't have any dependents, you technically don't need any, I mean, you have 20K. No. Investing in my pension at 50. So you have a pension already, and then on top of that, you're investing 15% in the Roth IRA. So in the wash, all that would pay for your burial if needed to. So you actually don't need life insurance at all. But yeah, if you do, it would be term insurance. Any advice is welcome. Please be kind. Thanks in advance. I don't know that anybody could find anything to get upset about this where they wouldn't be kind. You're not trying to, skirt any baby steps or anything like that. You're not trying to hold on to debt. So I don't think anybody would be unkind. But then again, it is the internet, so you never know. Although this is the Ramsey Solutions Run Facebook group, not the subreddit or anywhere like that. As I said, that's exactly part of the plan as far as the emergency fund thing. Now get $1,000 in the bank and get back to baby step 2. Yep. As I said, get the term life insurance, and unless you are the guardian of the grandchild, just get enough to be buried. Yep. I recently purchased 1 acre of land with 50% down. Should that go towards the 25% down payment when I get the house? No, I'm not counting that. You're the one that's trying to make it more expensive by buying land and building a house yourself, and so that's not, no. You would have to have it's not a 25% down payment anyway. It's 20 is recommended. A first-time home buyer, it can be 5 to 10 even for a first-time home buyer, but it's not 25%. The 25% is, it should be 25% of your take-home pay should be the mortgage payment. So what I would also do is I would have the land completely paid off before you start building even. But of course, people don't want to do that because that means waiting to have their little house. So, but that's what I would recommend. I think Dave would as well. On baby step 2, I received a settlement offer of $6,000 less than outstanding balance. Oh, okay. I've been past due for 120 days. Okay. I could pay the settlement in full. Why are you behind then? Why have you been past due then? These would be the questions. I wouldn't just say base it on that. I see a lot of times in these questions, in their justification station or their explanation, I see other questions. It's like, well, what happened there? You didn't have the money to be past due. Stay current. get current is part of baby step 0. So you should always be doing that first instead of other dumb stuff like saving up money. Shouldn't have been doing that. So I would ask about that. Let's see, or give lump sum to bring account current and lower my payment. Which option is best? If they'll settle it in full, who knows if that's going to do something to your credit, if you care about that. I don't give a crap about it, but you might. But that's the only thing I can think that would be negative to settle in full. But you should do at least one thing. And again, I'm asking you, why the heck didn't you stay current? And why do you have the money now? What's going on there? As it also says, also keep investing in the Roth IRA until you retire, right? And even after you retire as well. Even after, as long as you have any income, you can still contribute. And the only reason you wouldn't contribute is if you have to use that income to live on. So like, for example, if the pension is going to be enough alone, and hopefully it is, to cover your expenses in retirement, then yeah, you're investing for the next level there, the grandson, perhaps. You're investing for the thing. Yep, make sure you get it in writing for that. Yep, say, yeah, settle it. I mean, if they're willing to take it, you get that in writing, definitely, for sure. An email from the actual company address, company email is acceptable. Has to have their letterhead on it. And you don't give them access to any of your accounts. You could pay with a Visa gift card. You get a Visa gift card for that exact amount. And then you give them that Visa card number, and then they can try to charge it for whatever fees they want to, and they won't be able to get anything because that's not on there. So assuming that they are being, if you're not that late with it, and you're not even in collections, which you might not be, 120 days, and it also could be the company's in-house collections area and not actually sold to a collection company. It just all depends on that. But yeah, if you can settle it in full, there's no problem doing that. If they're willing to take more, that's the people you owe. If they'll take less, then that's fine to do. My lady and I are looking to get married at the end of this year. Congratulations. We are considering having a honeymoon fund only as a registry. Okay. What? A honeymoon fund only as a registry. Oh, okay. So yeah, okay. So instead of having a registry where you have like, oh, well, we got to have new dishes because we're getting married. Got to have new dishes. Got to have this, that, a whole bunch of material things. Instead, you want material money instead. So, yeah, that's great. Once we get married, we will be on baby step 2 together, but want to enjoy a trip before coming back and cracking down on debt. What are people's budget-friendly ideas for a honeymoon getaway? We live in Kansas City area, but are open for travel, likely in October. Well, you limit yourself on what you are given in the honeymoon fund. And so if that means spending the night at a nice Kansas City hotel, then that's all you do. So, there's now, oh, well, this will pay for half of it, and then we'll just use debt for the rest. Where's the rest coming from? So that would be the problem there. And also if, oh, well, the honeymoon fund will fly us to Florida, but then we'd have to buy Disney World tickets extra. We have to pay for food and all that. So that's a no on baby step 2. But if people will give you enough money, you can spend every single cent of people that give you that money. I don't have any problem with that. Because they're giving it for that purpose, and you've established this for that purpose, and so that's fine with me. Because probably the end, you could also do a debt freedom fund as well, a GoFundMe for that as well, and then if they give to that, then you can't use that for honeymoon. That has to be for paying off debt. randomly found the various Ramsey people and posts in the fall of 2023. Randomly, huh? Did you perhaps Google something about debt and paying off debt, maybe? So if you did, that's not random that happened at the same time. Realized how beneficial the principles are. Downloaded the Error Dollar app and actually used it. Great. Paid off about 15K in student loans and about 9K on my car since then. Officially consumer debt free. Excellent. We only owe about 35K on a house. Excellent. That's great. That's a rapid turnaround, dog. So on 35K, you ought to be able to knock that out this year. So you're looking at what, less than 3 years for the whole thing? I mean, and this was, no, this was very recently when this was posted. I was going to say, they might have even paid it off by now. As in thinks a nice place in town and then postpone anything that's bigger until you finish baby step 3. Then cash flow a nice honeymoon. Yeah. Yep, that works as well. So I was in a car accident 2 days ago. My car was totaled. I owe 7K on it. I now need a new car. I don't want a car payment, but it might be inevitable. Dumb. Dumb. You got to get this dependency on debt and the fallback on debt out of your head. This is a no. You get a car cash. So you owed 7K on it. Obviously you get whatever you can from the junkyard. Also, if it's totaled and you had insurance on it, you might get a little from insurance, and then you would spend the insurance money on the new to you car. That's a used cheap car. And you still got to keep paying for the, you got to pay the car off still though, even though it was totaled. Oh yeah, that would go to that, right? But if you can get any more than the 7K, like if they give you 9K, then you can get a $2,000 car. Question is, how do I find a reliable used car? You look for used cars cheap, and you can have your mechanic check it out before you buy it. Stay away from dealers because that's going to up your price. What about the insurance on the car? Aslan is right there. She's ready. And if you ever did coast with me, Aslan, I would let you do some of them first, and then I would weigh in after, obviously. Thoughts on a used car for daughter's first car? X and I have a difference of opinion on it. Used car for daughter's first car. X and I have a different of opinion on it. 4,500. We are seeing it tonight. X and I have a difference of opinion on it. So the ex-husband or ex-wife are like, no, my baby can only have, or you're the one that's thinking, my baby can only have a brand new car. So whichever one of you is thinking that is dumb. Again, used cars are fine. Have a mechanic check it out. And 4,500, seeing it tonight. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem with this. I mean, that even happens while people are still married. This kind of thing could still happen. And that's one of the spouses saying, oh, well, we have to get this. This is the only choice. And so we got to spend more money. But if we go on Mr. Ramsey's advice alone on this, there would be no new cars until you are millionaires. So if you aren't millionaires, that's a no on that one. And so even the idea on used cars is as little as you need to spend is the idea. And the guy apparently did the math. I didn't double check it. And I don't think he explained everything about it, but he said he did the math on it. And he said buying a $2,000 car every single year is better than getting a car payment. And he's right about that. My husband switched jobs and our insurance jumped from $400 a pay period to $1,000. Well, see, that's what you got to think about when you switch jobs. You got to be in a position to switch jobs, and you got to look into things like that. And I understand how this could be missed when somebody could just be thinking about the pay increase if there is one, or how easier this job will be, how less toxic this new job will be. You got to think about, well, is it worth $600? It's going to cost me $600 to switch jobs there, a pay period. So did we need to switch jobs? With 4 kids, I priced a plan, and even the $900 a month one seems too much. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe the other job, the job that the husband left, had great insurance and very affordable, way more affordable, apparently, twice as much even. I was thinking of foregoing medical insurance and just get medical indemnity, dental, life insurance. I found a low-cost cash paying clinic, just taking that $900 and putting it into a savings account. That's a no. Health insurance is required. Getting insurances in place is baby step 0. So that's going to be a NAR from Mr. Ramsey on that. As they pop up like our annuals and blood work. Then at the end of the year, rolling it over, I'm on it honestly. I'm honestly afraid for me, if we get insurance, we can't pay rent. Then again, so I mean, I got to go back to why switch jobs then? What was the job switch about? Did you move or anything like that? They always talk about what's important to them, not what's most important to me, unfortunately. So I've never gone without insurance for my kids. Yeah, that's because it's not a good idea to do that. Does anyone else do something like this? I didn't read this, the answer, the other people's comments to it, but I don't know. I'm sure people have foregone that and just gone without insurance. But again, that's baby step 0, so that's a thing that you have forever, ever, 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 ever. Alrighty. I'll keep the rest and get rid of these. Again, this is the last 4 p.m. after show. Just an experiment this week. I've also been doing 10:27 a.m. after shows this week, and they will continue at that time. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Where'd my your channel? Why did my channel go away? Interesting. All right. Oh, the insurance on the car. Yep. That too. Oh, we already talked. That was the other car where, yeah, there might be a payoff for that. It's really important to look at the total compensation package instead of just the salary when you compare jobs. Right. And that's what I was concerned about too. And yeah, and I'm worried about your entire situation, not just the thing that you're focused on in the question. So sure, it sucks, but what can you do? You locked yourself into that apparently, unless you can go back to the other job. Or work that job and get another part-time job, which might be the reason why you switched jobs anyway, to work less. And that did not work out at all for that person, did it? It did not. All right. Thanks so much for kind of co-hosting with me, Aslan. Much appreciated. It was fun. And thanks to the other person that's watching right now and anybody that watches in the future. Much, much appreciated. Again, this was the last 4 p.m. Weekday after show. Just an experiment this week. But I will be continuing doing the 10:27 a.m. after show, which is actually right after the debut of the particular episode on YouTube of the Ramsey Show, and they start at 9 a.m. You take care as well, and you have a great weekend as well, Aslan. Thanks for watching me all the time. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, and if you, yes, you, talking to you, if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Also, if you have any questions about like financial coaching or finance stuff or anything on my YouTube channel, donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney, CashApp, $, that's backwards to you though, Coach Steve Money, $ Coach Steve Money on CashApp, or Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams include the Ramsey Show, or only the Ramsey Show, Aftershow, and that's Monday through Friday, and this still says, I think, I forgot to change it, 10:27 a.m. weekdays, and this says 4 o'clock still, I think, or did they change it? Yep, no bonus ones, it'll just be at 10:27 a.m. right after the Ramsey Show video on YouTube is over. All right, I occasionally do other like live streams, games, that kind of thing. I put out other videos, of course, Oak Island, of course. What else do I do? I said video gaming already. Movie reactions, show reactions, that kind of thing, occasionally. But as far as streamings, basically this and games. Every once in a while, NFL football, Washington Commanders type thing. Occasionally live, but mostly it's the after show. Alrighty. Everybody have a great and fabulous weekend, or whatever time of day you are watching this. And as always, make smart financial decisions. Not just some of the days, every day.